The Championship is back. Very happy to have club football back and get to see Blues in action again. Quick state of play. So we've got Preston top of the league. Then come Ipswich and Leicester. And then Blues are in fourth. Preston and Blues are the only sides in the division still unbeaten. And then going down to the bottom of the league, there's three sides that are yet to win a game. Swansea, Sheffield Wednesday, and the most surprising of all, Middlesbrough. Now, I wouldn't have seen that coming at all. I thought they'd have a very strong season. They can still obviously turn it around like they did when Carrick came in last season, but it's a difficult start. I'm hoping Blues can do well this weekend, but we've got a tough fixture ahead of us. And looking at this set of fixtures, I have to say, I did do all my predictions and I had 9 draws. So I had to change some, but I think this has been the toughest weekend so far. So without further ado, let's get into my predictions. And it's a tough start as Hull face Coventry. Now, Hull lost on the opening day, but since then, won 3, drew 1. So a strong start from the Tigers. And in their last fixture, 1-0 win against Leicester. First side to take any points off Leicester, and it was all 3. So great from Hull there. Coventry lost on the opening day as well, but they are then unbeaten in 4 like Hull. However, it's 1 win and 3 draws. So lots of draws for Coventry, and Hull are getting the decisive goals. And that's the only reason in this one I changed it from a draw to a Hull win 2-1. My top 2 before a ball was kicked face off now, Southampton and Leicester. Yes, I predicted these two in the automatic promotion spots after just coming down. I think they've still got a brilliant chance of that and probably will get it. But Southampton hit a stumbling block last time out. They had 10 points out of 12 but then lost 5-0 to Sunderland. A massive shock. I didn't see that coming for Southampton at all. And maybe it's not going to be as easy as it looked. However, Leicester, their opponents, also faced a similar scenario. They were on 12 points, won all 4, only side to do so. And then Hull turned up and got a 1-0 win against the Foxes. So this is a tough one to call for me. I'm going to go down the middle. It's one of my many draws, but it's an exciting one. 2-2. Blackburn face Middlesbrough now, and to be honest in this one, I just can't pick a winner because I don't really fancy either side to do well. Blackburn, they lost 3-0 to Plymouth last time out. Plymouth obviously just came up, have looked good, but Blackburn, awful performance from them. Middlesbrough lost 2-0 to QPR and have only picked 1 point up all season so far. So although I fancied Middlesbrough at the start of the season, they haven't started well. I expect their poor form to continue, but I don't fancy Blackburn to be too much of an attacking threat either. So I'm going to go 1-1. Bristol City up against West Brom was another game that I had as a draw, but I had to change it because there were too many. Bristol City create a lot of chances, but their problem is finishing those chances. West Brom, they had a good run, 3 games unbeaten, but then came up against Huddersfield and surprisingly lost that game. So for me, I'm going to back the home side, and I don't know why. I think this will be a draw, but I'm just going to go for the home side to maybe actually take one of the chances they create. So Bristol City to win 1-0. Huddersfield against Rotherham is a tough one to call. Both these sides I think will be down there by the end of the season, but they both managed to pick up their first wins of the season. And which one was more impressive? Huddersfield beating West Brom or Rotherham beating Norwich? There were 2 games that I didn't expect to go that way at all. I had West Brom and Norwich to win, but that is the beauty of the Championship. Now, Huddersfield being the home side and with Warnock, you kind of hope they'd be able to turn over Rotherham. This was a draw as well, but I've got a feeling, having to change it, that Rotherham, if anyone, will nick it 1-0. Norwich against Stoke. Now, Norwich have been very, very convincing this season. Such good form at the start. 3 convincing wins, a 4-4 draw with Southampton. Then they play against Rotherham. You expect Norwich to just steamroll them, but that's not what happened. Rotherham picked up all 3 points. Stoke, they won opening day against Rotherham 4-1. They've also beaten them in the Cup this season 6-1. But since that opening day fixture in the league, they've played 4, only scored 1 goal in a win and lost the other 3. So not great from Stoke. They're struggling to find the goals, and I've got a feeling Norwich will be able to get past them 2-1. League leaders Preston, didn't think I'd be saying that, come up against newly promoted Plymouth. This is a tough one because Preston drew their opening game and have since won 4 in a row. Very good form from Preston. Plymouth, they haven't been out of any game so far, not at all. They've won 2, drew 1 against Watford, and the 2 they lost were against Blues and Southampton by a 1-goal margin. So Plymouth have started very, very well. They beat Blackburn 3-0 in their last match. And I've got a feeling that Preston will stay unbeaten, but Plymouth are a very tricky customer. So I'll go down the middle, 1-1. QPR against Sunderland. Now, the home side, there was a lot of pre-season worry about them. And now looking at it, 6 points from their opening 5 games, I kind of think all that commotion was a little bit premature. They have really looked quite good. Other than the opening day, they have looked good in all of their matches so far, not outplayed at all. So maybe QPR will have a better season under Gareth Ainsworth than expected. Sunderland have had a rather inconsistent start, but their recent game, a 5-0 victory over Southampton, will surely get Sunderland into a bit of momentum, into a rhythm, and climbing up the table, because there's no way you beat Southampton 5-0 as a fluke. That is a statement of intent. So I'm going to go for Sunderland to get all 3 points, 2-1. Off to Sheffield now, where Wednesday, who are really struggling at the moment, face in-form Ipswich. Now, Sheffield Wednesday, only 1 point so far. It did come in their last game, so 4 losses in a row, and then a 0-0 against Leeds. A very, very promising result, even though they didn't score. To be able to defend against that front 4 at Leeds is a very, very good job. However, they are facing Ipswich, who have won 4 of their games out of 5. The loss was a 4-3 against Leeds, so they managed to put 3 past Leeds, but the attack for Leeds was firing in that one. Now, I don't want to sound too pessimistic for Sheffield Wednesday. However, I don't see a way that they're going to get a result out of this, because Ipswich have started the season very, very well. And I think with the new signing of Axel Twanzebe at centre-back as well, Ipswich are only going to be stronger. So, the away side, the Tractor Boys, to win it 2-0. Watford v Blues is a fixture that I hate, and there are many reasons for that. Now, Watford have started the season shakily. A 4-0 win against QPR opening day, but then followed up by 3 games without a goal. They lost 2 of those, and then a 3-3 draw with Coventry. So they're very inconsistent so far. Blues, one of only 2 sides still unbeaten in the league, with Preston. And, a draw opening day, then 3 wins in some tough fixtures, and then a draw against Millwall. Very happy with the start for Blues. However, away at Watford, we've lost 5 of these in a row, and the last 2 have both been 3-0 losses. We haven't scored in our last 5 away fixtures against Watford, so it's not great. It's not one that I enjoy. And if you gave me a point right now, I would snatch your hand off. Now, even though we are in good form, better form than Watford are, and great form considering it's us, I'm still thinking in my head we're going to lose, but I'm going to go with my heart and I'm going to be as optimistic as possible. So I'll go for a 1-1 draw. The South Wales derby is next, with Cardiff against Swansea, and I don't really fancy either of these sides, as Cardiff are on 4 points with 1 win and Swansea are on 2 points, both draws, so still looking for the first win. They obviously lost Joel Perreault to Leeds and they haven't really filled that void, so I can't see Swansea scoring too many this season. I think if I was to fancy anyone to win this one, I'd back the home side, even though these fixtures always seem to be random with the scores. It never follows form, not that either of them are in form. So I'm going to just play it safe and go for a 1-1. Millwall take on Leeds in our final game. Millwall, first 4 fixtures, 2 wins, 2 losses, but in the 5th, they picked up their first draw, something we always associate with Millwall, a 1-1 against Blues. Leeds have drawn 3 of their 5, won 1 and lost 1. Their only loss of the season was against Blues at St Andrews in that game where Tom Brady was there and it was a last minute penalty that won it. Now Leeds, I didn't realise they'd only lost 1, so I guess they haven't started the season too poorly, but 3 draws is something they won't be too happy with. They want to start winning games. However, Leeds have drawn 3 out of 5. Millwall I always associate with draws. So to round off this set of fixtures that has had a lot of draws in it already, I'm going to do what I tend to do best, which is sit on the fence. So 1-1 again. Those are my predictions for these championship fixtures. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more championship content. And hopefully Blues can stay unbeaten. Come on Blues, up the Blues.